Giving a presentation can be nerve-wracking, it can be really difficult. You're in front of all these people and you start to feel yourself shake and you're like, shit, I lost all my text. So this was not really my experience when I was younger. Me and my dad would always practice for the presentations that I had together. We would make big projects. I remember I had to give a presentation about the solar system, and we made an arts and craft project where we made the solar system to scale. It was really fun. I got an A+. And, well, this video is not to flex all of my good presentations, but it is to tell you that it can be fun to give presentations, especially if you put effort into it, and if you learn how to be good at it. Now, I feel like I can give you some great tips, so in this video, let me give you my 8 tips to give a banger presentation, and to also make it a lot easier for yourself. Alright, my first tip is don't just study, in the way that you try to memorize the presentation. Actually speak. Translating memory to speech is another step that you have to take. I feel like a lot of people, when preparing for a presentation, just memorize the PowerPoint, for example. This is why when you see a presentation in your class or whatever, you'll see a lot of people presenting like this. And then they look at the screen, and then sometimes after they finish their sentence, they look into the class, and then they look back because they memorize their PowerPoint. Make sure you memorize the words you want to say. An extra tip for this is just remember what you want to convey, not necessarily how you're going to convey it. This also gives you some wiggle room with the words you're going to use. Another bonus tip for studying, I have one more before we go on to the next one, is study in reverse. I've seen a lot of people study for their presentations by trying to speak it out from memory, but then after a minute they fail, so they read through the whole presentation and then they begin at the first word again. So they do the first minute and then they get a little further and then they keep getting a little further. But what this does is you will be a master at the start of your presentation, but as time goes on, it will be more difficult until you get towards the end. So my tip is study in reverse. Start with the last slide and then work back from that. So you start studying by just saying, well, thank you guys, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's a bit silly, but the last bit of information, maybe the last 2 slides. And then once you've done that and it works out for you, you go to the last 3 slides and you start with words that you didn't use yet, but then you gradually ease into something you already did before, so it's going to be more relaxing. The third tip is freestyle. Or in other words, just be comfortable with saying the information however you want to say it in the moment. I feel like there's a lot of people that memorize their presentation so good that it ends up just being a robotic spoken word of their PowerPoint. They're reading out loud a Wikipedia page. If you're watching it, you're just like, I could have just as well read the Wikipedia page myself. This is not really interesting. However, when you're more spontaneous, they somehow pick up on that, and it surprises them and it engages them. And I feel like if you give an engaging presentation, your audience will pick up on that. You will feel better about yourself. You get confidence because suddenly people are listening to you and they're actually interested. The next tip is to not try to be a presenter, but try to just explain something to your friend. I feel like a lot of people, when they get in front of the classroom, they take on this presenter role because they associate giving a presentation with, I don't know, a newsreader or someone who's hosting a program. But in reality, all you're doing is conveying information. If you're conveying that information as yourself, that is perfectly fine. And moreover, that's actually what you're doing. You're standing there. You maybe have a PowerPoint, I don't know, you maybe have some object you're talking about, I don't know what your presentation is about, but you're standing there and your only goal is to get the information that you want to get across. How you do that is completely up to you. And what easier way and what better way to do that by just being yourself. I mean, look at me right now. I'm explaining the information to you, but I don't have a script. I literally have a list of 8 things. And the 4th thing is don't try to be a presenter. Try to explain something to your friend. That's it. And I know what I want to talk about because I know this topic. And so the way I'm speaking to you right now is so natural because this is how I am as a person. But watch as I switch it up. So let me explain this to you as a presenter. So what you have to do in order to... I'm already hiccuping. It's crazy. Maybe another angle you can approach this tip from to understand it better is if you are standing in front of a classroom or a group of people, do you feel like you have to change the way you are speaking? Or do you feel like you have to present yourself as more formal or more well kept together? Because when you're talking to your friends, you can surely be confident, or even when you're talking in an online game. And now, I understand. You can be swearing in front of the classroom, right? You cannot be, I don't know, using slang or being like, all right, bro, you know what? And I guarantee you, even if you were like, all right, bro, you probably get a laugh out of someone. But anyway, yeah. Just try to be yourself. Try to explain it to your friend. Now, in a practical way, just look at the people in the classroom as if they were your friend. Like, pretend they're your friend. Now, my next tip is pretty similar to the last one, but now it applies to eye contact. Give up trying to look at your audience and start looking at people specifically. And a funny way to practice this is pretend your friend is teleporting across the room and is different people at different moments. This works really well for me. I don't know if this helps for you, but trying to look at a group of people does not work. Because, I mean, it works, you see the group of people, but you have to see the group by focusing on one of the people. If you glaze over the group, you're not making eye contact, you're just looking. And I understand eye contact can be very scary, but you can just make it a fun little game, and if you practice this a little bit, eventually it becomes second nature. Now, as for the timing of this, talk one sentence where you're explaining something, and then you move on to the next sentence, and you look the other way. And as you go through the sentence, you'll find a natural rhythm in which you can move from person to person. I don't really have a tip for that. That's just something you have to experience yourself. I'm sorry, I didn't have everything covered. Alright, next one. This is a tip I have not heard anyone give to anyone else. I don't know if this is controversial and it might be unhelpful, but I'm gonna give it to you anyway. Do nothing with your nerves. You do not have to fix your nerves. You will get nervous, in fact. And I'm sure there are people that won't get nervous for presentations. I imagine they give tons of presentations and they don't feel it anymore. Me, I'm extremely confident in my ability to give a presentation. And 5 minutes before I go up there, and even 1 minute when the teacher's like, all right, Rick, it's your turn, I fucking feel that. My stomach starts to give those butterflies in a negative context. You know, like, oh shit, this is my moment and people are looking at me. You get up and you go. This is the same as jumping in a cold pool. If that's your goal, to just swim in cold water, you're not going in there thinking, oh, I'm going in there and the water will be warm in a second. Or you're not expecting warm water. Expect cold water. It's fine. Once you swim in it and you're actually enjoying it, you'll get used to it and it's fine. So expect nerves. It's normal. There's nothing wrong with being nervous. In fact, you're in front of a whole group of people. This probably has to do something with evolution. We evolved to not be focused on by so many people at once. I'm sure that's what it is, but I couldn't tell you. I don't know. But it's scary. I get it. So there's nothing wrong with that. And the more you try to like get rid of the nerves, the more you focus on the nerves, and the worse it gets. That's what it's like for me as well. So I think a funny backwards way to handle it at all is to be like, I'm nervous. My goal is to be nervous, because that's what's gonna happen anyway. So may as well just carry it with me. I'm gonna give a presentation nervous. And it's fine. Alright, 7th tip is more of something to think about, which is use your strengths to your advantage. I know a lot of people that are really funny that don't use it in their presentations. But if you're funny, this can definitely get the attention of your audience. Don't try to do a stand-up comedy show if you're actually trying to convey information. I don't know, maybe that works. There's probably a place and a time for it, but sprinkle it in somewhere. Alright, so this was my presentation on presentations. Are there any questions? If so, please leave them in the comments. I hope these tips really help you. If they did, let me know in the comments as well. And thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Peace!